Hello and welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to talk about alchemy and its symbols. Alchemy is an area of study that was practiced in Europe, Asia, and Africa. It originated in the early centuries AD. Alchemists had three main goals: to create the Philosopher's Stone, create an elixir of eternal youth and health, and to transmute metals. Achieving any one of these goals would cause the alchemist to become incredibly rich and famous. Since the beginning of alchemy, alchemists have used symbols to represent different elements. Alchemy symbols sometimes contain hints of the qualities of elements were thought to have, as well as the history of the element. Using symbols helped alchemists keep their work secret from non-alchemists. Because early alchemy drew much of its attention from astrology, many alchemical element symbols are connected to planets or other celestial bodies. The three primes, also known as Tria Prima, were named by Swiss philosopher Paracelsus. He believed they contained poisons that caused disease, and by studying them, alchemists could learn to cure disease. He also believed it defined humans, and he assigned each of the elements to a different part of the human body. Mercury can mean both the element and the planet. In either case, this symbol represents the mind, as well as the state that could transcend death. In ancient times, Mercury was known as Quicksilver, which was believed to be able to shift between solid and liquid. So, in alchemy, Mercury was believed to shift between life and death. Mercury is also sometimes said to represent the passive female principle, as well as wetness and cold. Salt is now known to be the chemical compound comprised of sodium and chloride, but alchemists believed it to be a single element. Salt represents the body, as well as physical matter in general, crystallization, and condensation. Salt is often impure when first collected, but through chemical process it can be purified, which some alchemists compared to purification processes the human body can undergo. Sulfur, also known as brimstone, is the active male counterpart to Mercury's passive feminine. In antiquity, it was used as a traditional medicine in places ranging from China to Europe. It's mentioned in both the Torah and the Bible. Sulfur represents properties such as dryness, heat, and masculinity. In alchemy, it could also represent evaporation, expansion, and dissolution. In terms of the human body, it represented the soul. The four classical elements are based on the ancient Greek belief that air, fire, earth, and water composed all matter. Aristotle stated that air represented heat and wetness. Air in alchemy represented a life-giving force. Hippocrates associated air with blood. Aristotle labeled earth as cold and dry. Earth can represent physical movements and sensations. In alchemy, fire represents emotions such as passion, love, anger, and hate. Aristotle labeled it as hot and dry. Fire is also seen as more masculine. Aristotle labeled water as cold and wet, and Hippocrates associated it with phlegm. The Greek philosopher Thales believed water was the first substance created in the world. The 7 planetary metals. Each of these is a metal that is connected to a planet, a day of the week, and a human organ. Lead is representative of Saturn. Its day of the week is Saturday, and its organ is the spleen. Tin's celestial body is Jupiter. Its day of the week is Thursday, and its organ is the liver. Iron is connected to Mars. It is for Tuesday and the gallbladder. Gold's celestial body is the sun. Its day of the week is Sunday, and its organ is the heart. Gold represented perfection, and it was one of the most prominent symbols in alchemy. A key goal of many alchemists was to learn how to turn lead into gold. Copper's celestial body is Venus. Its day of the week is Friday, and its organ is the kidneys. Mercury's planet is Mercury. Its day of the week is Wednesday, and its organ is the lungs. Silver's celestial body is the moon. Its day of the week is Monday, and its organ is the brain. The mundane elements make up the rest of the elements used in alchemy. They are typically more recent additions to alchemy. Antimony represents the more wild and animalistic parts of human nature. It is sometimes represented as a wolf. In alchemy, arsenic is often represented by swans. This is because, as a metalloid, arsenic is capable of transforming its physical appearance, much like a cygnet transforms into a swan. Not much is known about how bismuth was used in alchemy. It was often confused with tin and lead. Magnesium isn't found in its pure form, so alchemists used magnesium carbonate when conducting experiments. Because magnesium can't easily be put out when ignited, it represented eternity. Phosphorus was an important element for alchemists because it appeared to have the ability to capture light. It represented the spirit. Alchemists believed platinum was a combination of gold and silver. Potassium isn't naturally found as a free element, so alchemists used potassium carbonate in their experiments. And lastly, alchemists burn zinc to create zinc oxide, which they called philosopher's wool or white snow. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all next time.